Hello and welcome into my latest vlog. Today is September the 6th, 2018, and sitting to my left, which is your right, just so you know that, this is Corey Fruitman. He's the founder and owner of a remote access software called Instant Housecall. He joins me here in the kitchen all the way from Toronto, Canada. Welcome, eh?
Thank you for having me.
And I've known Corey for some time. He's a great guy, and I'm a big promoter, and it might be biased, of small business. I don't like faceless, soulless corporations. If I can avoid dealing with them, I prefer dealing with small business owners where there is a face and more gratitude and, in my experience, better customer service. And there are obviously other remote access applications that are, have multi-million-dollar marketing budgets. And sometimes it's the little guy that tries harder and gives you best value, and I believe that's the case here with Instant Housecall. So Corey's going to explain to us how Instant Housecall works, what all the benefits, features, and costs are involved. And by the end of this, you will understand what remote access is if you don't already, as well as how to download and use Instant Housecall. The idea behind remote access, how would you explain it to somebody who doesn't know?
The idea behind it is to let you view and control a computer from far away. So there are different types of remote access, and we can get into those, but in a nutshell, they are on-demand, unattended, and time window. Those are the three sort of types of remote access. And the idea behind them is to let you, in the case of Instant Housecall, typically fix someone's computer remotely.
So essentially you're taking control of the keyboard and mouse and seeing their screen.
Exactly.
And to the user, the end user, the reaction I often get is, oh, it's like there's a ghost in my computer and my mouse is moving and things are clicking, and they're often fascinated by it.
Right.
Now this is also a technique scammers use when they tell you get a random phone call or an email or sometimes a pop-up on your screen that says your computer's infected and they want access to your computer. But I have never experienced these scammers using Instant Housecall. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it. They always use some of the more ubiquitous remote software, and they don't seem to do anything to prevent it. Are you guys doing something to prevent or discourage scammers from utilizing the free trial to scam people?
Absolutely. So there's quite a bit that's actually baked into the software to discourage that. So for starters, you can't start a session or be in a session at all without some notifications to the customers happening. So the customer can always see that you are connected to the computer. The customer can always disconnect you from the computer with a click of a mouse. And the way the features are built, so an example I've given before is file transfer. The way file transfer works is it's very transparent to the end user that you are doing the file transfer. So for example, some remote support scammers will steal social security numbers or driver's licenses, any identity theft stuff. They'll do that with file transfer. On some remote tools, you can do that with a window where you're transferring files back and forth in the background. Instant Housecall, it's all in the foreground, so people can see what's going on.
Well, let me ask you this. I've noticed with other remote access software, you can fight over the mouse. Mm-hmm. Does Instant Housecall give priority of ownership of the cursor to the end user or the tech, or is it the same battle for control over the mouse?
You will get that same battle for control.
So when you say that the end user can end the session at any time, mm-hmm. How can they if they're fighting the mouse?
Because they're able to. There's a hotkey, so Shift F10 will actually automatically.
I assume that's on the screen to tell the user that, or
it is, yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay, and then you said there were three types of remote access. You said there was on demand. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming that is customer calls you mm-hmm. and says, "Can you help me?" And you've never connected to them before, and they need to download the software.
Right.
Right. You, as a tech, or as the person who helps, you would say, go to this website, download the software, and then what happens?
Go to the site, download the software, a UI pops up, a user interface pops up with a start session button. They click start session, and then they're connected to you. That's it.
There's no password or code?
No keys, no codes, no pins.
How do I, as the technician, how how does Instant Housecall know these two people want to connect or know each other?
What'll happen is in that user interface, it's going to show the name of the technician. So it'll say, CareyHolzman, essentially, do you want to connect to him? Start session.
How does it know that?
That's, there's some secret sauce in the software that does that.
We're going to get into that. We're going to demonstrate it because there's a piece here I'm missing that I want to figure out. There are some questions in the chat. We're not going to address that right now. The goal of this interview for me is to understand and learn how to utilize not only Instant Housecall, but what it's capable of, not necessarily to compare it against other remote access products. I personally think they're all about the same. I think they all pretty much do the same thing. Their interfaces are a little different. And maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe I'm oversimplifying, but I don't want to play a game of comparison like this is what this one does and this is what we're here to talk about you and your application and everything it can do. And then towards the end, if there's gaps or anything, if you guys want to ask questions, we'll do a quick Q&A at the end. Does that sound okay?
Sure, that works.
Okay. And so so on demand, and then you said there's unattended.
Unattended, yeah.
So that's my thing. I know unattended.
Right.
I don't like to work on customers' computers that I've never seen in real life in person. Mm-hmm. I don't know what I'm working with. So when I have worked on a client's computer on site, I will put the remote access software configured as part of what I do, so I don't have to make another trip in the future. I know the condition of the machine. Right. That's just me, that's my policy. And then I can connect to the machine at any point, at any time. I don't need any permissions. I instruct my customers that have me on retainer to always leave their computers on 24/7, and that enables me to log into their computers remotely late at night when I'm up and it's quiet and I don't interfere with their productivity and they're not asking me a million questions interfering with my productivity. That's my preference. Obviously there's a lot of trust involved in that. You just don't want to be handing out unattended access, thank you, to anybody. On the other hand, you don't want to give remote access to just anybody.
Right.
Oftentimes, though, the remote access products will say, never give this PIN number out to someone unless you trust them. Nobody, I guess, takes that seriously, or they don't. They assume the person that's instructing them is trustworthy, even though they've never met. It's a random phone call. People a little too trusting these days. And then you said there was a third option. You said it was called
time window.
So from the sound of that, it's unattended in a certain time?
It's sort of, it's a hybrid between on-demand and unattended. So the way it works is, say you're not available right now, but because you're doing this broadcast, but somebody needs to get a hold of you, they'll click start session. It'll say Carey's not available. Would you like to wait for him to sign in? Then they say, I'll wait 90 minutes, for example. They type 90, and then you've got a 90-minute time window in which you can access their computer.
So this would be more like for a business that a client needs you, and this is a client's way of telling you, I need help.
It's the client's way of telling you I need help, yeah, and there's actually a bunch of stuff that goes with it. So it can send you an SMS letting you know that your customer is waiting for you. It can send you an email, obviously, and it's an easy way for your customers to get a hold of you without having to schedule an appointment.
I like that. I like the sound of that. I like that a lot. The less I have to deal with people, the better. Present company excluded, of course.
Of course.
Now, gosh, I've got a million questions, and my brain is just going a million miles a minute. Cost. A lot of my customers think remote access doesn't cost anything. Right? This is a very difficult topic to discuss for me. I'm a terrible salesman. But not only is my time worth something, but the remote access software, at least what I need to rely on and what I'm going to charge people for, cannot be free. There's a lot of legalities if you're profiting from using a free piece of software and you're not sharing some royalty or dividend from the income you generated from the use of that free software. Geek Squad got in trouble with this quite a while back. And there's also no accountability or support in free software, which as a business owner, I must have that.
Right.
a little discouraging to me how much remote access costs. And I think this is where Instant House Call shines. And I know a lot of people want to save this to the end, but I think it's an important thing to bring up front because it's affordable.
It is affordable.
And let's
So
define that.
it starts at $29 a month.
Now, competition says they also have monthly, but it's really annual, and they've broken it down.
Right.
So is yours actually, can I buy 1 month?
You can actually buy 1 month.
Unbelievable.
So you get a discount for buying the year in advance, or you can pay month to month
Hey,
the way
whenever you
described.
buy in bulk, you get a discount, right?
Absolutely.
Right. I do the same thing with my customers on retainer. They can pay me by the hour, or you can give me 10 hours right now at a discounted rate.
Right.
Right. That is the right way to go. My joke is, how many do I have to buy in order to get it for free? When does the discount? When do you start paying me? How much do I have to get? I would like to let the product speak for itself and demonstrate how the product works.
Okay.
We've got 2 computers. I've got this laptop here in front of me. There's a desktop off to the side. Because you're familiar with the product, you'll be the tech, I'll be the customer.
Okay.
We've got the video capture card here is connected into both machines.
We're going to be doing some toggling back and forth, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I could put them there. If I put them side by side, we're going to have big black bars across the top and bottom. It'll be really difficult to see what's going on. So I think we'll need to switch back and forth just so we have a full screen. The viewers can see a full screen of each side.
Okay.
This is a Windows 7 computer. You have a Windows 10 computer. This shows interoperability is fine. And speaking of that, this software is compatible with what operating systems?
Mac and Windows. And on the Windows side, there is a desktop app and a modern app, which I know you love the modern app.
So it's a desktop app and a program. You know what? It's the same program.
It's the exact same program.
Just the interface is slightly different.
Exactly.
So you have like the app is what they called a tile back in Windows 8, right? That was
Right.
the tile,
Right.
which we still have in Windows 10.
Right.
And then the program. What did you call the program? What was your word?
Desktop app.
The desktop app then is literally what it says. It's an app on the desktop,
Right.
not a tile on
Right.
on the. They had a word for that too, the Metro interface. I'm aging myself right now. I know they don't call that anymore. Okay, let's go to the website. Let's take a look at Instant House Call. Let's see how we download it. Let's install it,
Okay.
and let's make a connection and show everybody how it's done. And then we can go through the bells, whistles, and features of what you can do once you have that connection.
Sure.
All right.
So why don't we, let's go to the website. I'll show you where to download the trial from. I've already got the software installed on this computer.
No, you don't.
Okay, I don't?
No.
Okay.
I set everything up clean.
Okay.
But in theory, yes, as a tech, you would already have it installed.
Right, exactly.
But if you're a tech, see, I don't know if my viewers are the techs or the end users.
Okay.
So I want them to see both sides of it
Okay,
and the difference in the install.
okay.
So let's start with you, because you have to have it first.
Okay,
right?
perfect.
I mean,
Yep.
I can't connect without you.
Right.
So I'm going to switch over to your computer, which wiggle your mouse. I think it's just sleeping. There you go.
Okay.
And then, I'm sorry, guys, I have to kind of block our chat room so we can see here. And, okay, I can see. So instanthousecall.com is where you went to, and you're scrolling down. Hold on, you're going a little quick here for me. So there, see the Windows app is on the left, and the classic desktop app is on the right. What do you prefer?
I'm nonpartisan. I'm happy. I'm happy with both.
You're
of them.
happy with both?
There are things that I like. The modern app has a more modern interface. It's got a nicer, prettier interface.
Okay.
The desktop app is a very simple, basic interface.
Classic.
Classic, yeah, and that's exactly what it says actually.
Oh.
It's a more classic interface. So if it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for bells and baubles, then the modern app is going to probably satisfy you a little bit more.
But they have the same bells and baubles, don't they?
In terms of features and functionality, exactly the same.
It's just the way it's displayed.
Exactly.
Okay.
I will say that the desktop app is more popular than the modern app. But I think they're both really good.
So we're just going through a basic install. We're just clicking next, 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 install. Click yes, are you sure? And the install is a pretty small download. It looked like it was pretty quick.
It's pretty quick, yeah.
And what do we have here? Oh,
okay.
If you're a new user or you already have, that's pretty standard stuff.
So I already have an account, but let's just take a quick look at get a free account.
Okay.
Okay, and this is where you would sign up for a free trial. And you would just fill out these forms and then activate your free trial. You get 15 days free, unlimited use of everything. And you get access to all of the features as well.
Great.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's all pretty standard industry stuff here. Nothing unusual, which is good.
All right, so I'm going to sign in with an account that I've made previously.
While you sign in, I want to make some adjustments over here. Will you do that? I want to find, I can put us on screen. There we are. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
We're high tech over here.
And then once you sign in, you'll see this little toast notification pop up saying that you signed in, and a little system tray icon down here.
Okay, let you know the app is running.
It lets you know the app is running and has some features and functionality.
When one of my customers does the time window, I assume like some kind of pop-up appears down there, or the system icon changes.
So for time window, you're going to be signed out, and then you're saying I'm not available to take a call, and when you're not available.
So if you're not available, you wouldn't just leave the software running?
You wouldn't leave the software running. You would sign out,
okay.
and then when you're signed out, it'll
I guess I'm thinking of Skype where you can be like away.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's all you do, right?
That's all you do. So I'm signed in now, ready to accept a call. I can sit back and wait for my customers to contact me.
Hold on. Okay. I am going to switch over to my computer. I'm going to switch over to my computer any minute now. I don't know what's happening right this minute. Something strange is happening. Give me just a second here. My software, for some reason, is not obeying me. There it goes. I don't know why that... It switches both of these for some reason. All right, well, I know a way to fix this. Sorry guys, I thought I was prepared, and here I am. I want to make sure that I have this configured properly. Video source. Video capture device. Oh, that's why it did it. I understand now. Okay, so we're going to turn off that one. So that's me. That's you. We good?
Okay, good.
All right, that's me. That's him. But I lost my cam. Why did I lose my cam? Oh, that's why. Okay, all right, now we're ready to roll. Little live configuration here. This is a live video, ladies and gentlemen. Everything you see is real, it's authentic, and it's genuine. Everything I show you comes from the perspective of a real professional IT technician. I am not like the big popular YouTube tech channels where they are hobbyists and enthusiasts who often do things that no corporation would ever pay you to do as a working tech. So if you're thinking about becoming a technician and you're watching those big popular YouTube tech channels, they are entertaining and they're interesting, but quite often the things that they do are something that no company would ever pay you to do as a tech. Remote access software is something that you will love as a technician. It saves you time. Your customers also like that because it's faster to help them and cheaper as a result. And that's what I like to demonstrate on my YouTube tech channel, is what I deal with on a daily basis, actually doing work versus having fun. Although, it is fun too, though, for me. Okay, so I need help, Corey. What do I need help? Can you help me? And you say?
I say there, so depending on the situation. So if I have a website, which most techs do, then they would put an Instant Housecall link on their website for a direct download. Because we're doing this as a demo, you're going to use what's called a support portal. So open up a browser and go to demo.instanthousecall.com.
Okay, does it matter what browser I use?
No, any browser will work.
Demo.instanthousecall.com. Oops, I hate these touchpads. Instanthousecall.com.
Click download.
Now, would this be like your company's own website? I noticed like there's a phone number that says 00000.
Yes.
So this is a demo. If you were a technician, you would set this up to be, it wouldn't say Instant House Call, it would say Carey's Computer Fix.
Exactly.
My phone number.
Exactly.
And then that download would be customized to me.
Exactly.
And that's how Instant House Call knows to connect us together without any IDs.
It's customized all the way down to the file name. So when you click download, you'll say, in this case, it'll say Instant House Call Inc. in the file name, but that would say careyholzman.msi.
Or whatever I named it.
Or whatever you named it.
Okay, so it's 11 megs. That's easy. I like that. Thank you for not making bloatware. Let's get it installed. This is an older computer. This is a real world demo.
So I think it went into the background there.
Yes, it did. I'm just going to go next. Or not. Let's see. I didn't do anything. It didn't ask me. That's cool.
That's it.
I like it when the end user doesn't have to ask me a million questions. What do I click now? Okay, so this comes up.
Okay.
We're using Instant House Call 6.3. How long has Instant House Call been around?
10 years.
Get out of here.
I know. I can't believe it myself.
And you don't come out with a new version every year just to make more money? Shouldn't you be on version 10.3?
I know exactly what you're referring to.
Okay. Okay, so so you actually only come out with new versions when you need to? It's not just a money grab?
Something like that.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
So actually, just to be clear, new versions are included with every. There's none of this. You have to pay to upgrade to the next version.
What?
We retain backward compatibility.
How are you still in business?
And new versions are free.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You know what? I can add us to this
On
screen.
subscription.
Let me add us here. Let's go to another video capture. Let's go to camera 1. Is it camera 1? That's not camera 1. Give me just a second. I want to add camera 1. Where's my camera 1? Is that it? That's not it. Sorry, those of you watching live. I am trying to configure something here on the fly. Look at that. Almost like I knew what I was doing. Okay, now, what do I do?
Okay, now go ahead and click Start Session.
So I don't have to worry about option, any of those tabs. I'm just end user. I don't know nothing as far as this stuff goes.
Those tabs are useful for different things, but for a basic session with a basic customer, they don't have to worry about them. Just click Start Session.
Okay, Start Session.
Okay,
now, what happens on your side when I do that? I don't see, incoming call. And you can accept or decline it.
Yep.
See? So you click accept, and there's my desktop right there. Okay. Normally with remote access, wallpaper goes away.
Yes, and that is no exception here.
And you can explain why?
Yeah, I can. So wallpaper can have pictures of your dog, pictures of your kid, whatever it is. It's wasted bandwidth, right? And so sending that data over can slow things down. Why bother? And so we strip out the wallpaper, we put it back at the end of the session.
And it's also a great way for an end user to know when their wallpaper's missing, somebody's connected to you.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
And sometimes the wallpaper colors can interfere with the ability to see the icons on the screen. I don't know what people are thinking.
Yep.
Sometimes, but okay. So now we've connected. You have control of my keyboard and my mouse right now.
And so here is the disconnect button that we were talking about, and here's the chat button. So if
Is that text chat only, or can you do voice chat?
that's just text.
Okay. And can I look at my Can I look at the webcam of the person Can I spy on them?
No, you can't.
Good. Well, that's a really good thing. There's some features I see in other remote access that I don't quite understand, and that's one of them.
Right.
It just seems like there was no useful purpose, but I don't know. Okay, so
if I can, I actually want to point out a few things about the branding of this software, because there is a bunch of branding that we just sort of passed by, that I want to talk about really quickly.
Yes, please.
So here, this is the desktop icon, and I was doing a test, so it says my icon text, and it has a picture of a doctor. You can change that icon to be anything you want it to be. So if you want it to have a CareyHolzman or a big dollar sign, and then change the text on it, you can change the text on it to whatever you like.
A miniature blue screen of death.
And it also appears down here. So that same icon will
good.
appear there. The splash screen, when you first ran Instant Housecall on the customer side, that can have your logo on it. And the start session screen, where there was a blue banner along the bottom, I'm not sure if you recall, along the bottom there was a blue banner, that can be customized to say, to look like whatever you want as well. And we can see, I'll show you actually what it looks like. The blue banner. So this is the customer side.
Oh, I see.
That's the blue
and
banner.
And that would, how hard is that to make one of those? I mean, do I have to be a Photoshop expert? Or?
No, you can do it in MS Paint, which
I can handle MS Paint.
yeah.
Okay.
So just create one of those banners, and you can make it look like whatever you want. And your company name, of course, will always show at the top. Your company name also shows here where it says Instant Housecall Inc. That would show your company name, and obviously it would show your name here. Mm-hmm. So everything is customized and branded for you. Make sense?
Yeah, me likey. Okay, so obviously at this point you've got control of my mouse and keyboard. You can do everything I can do with my mouse and keyboard. But what about bringing up Task Manager or rebooting in safe mode? Are these options for like virus removal and stuff? Or yeah, you just did
they
that.
are. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So Task Manager, obviously, what I am going to show you is that it can go through UAC. So some remote tools out there.
That's right. Sometimes the screen just doesn't show me anything, and I've got to instruct the end user to click yes for me.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's not the case here. Instant Housecall goes through UAC, no problem.
UAC is user account control.
Correct.
And that's that confirmation dialog box that on some remote programs doesn't, for security reasons.
Right.
But unfortunately, most end users don't know whether or not to click yes or no. That's what they called you for.
Right.
I don't get why they do that. So, okay, well, I'm glad that you guys show those. It's very frustrating. Now, you've gone into the connection tab. Let's talk about every option here.
Okay. So send control delete to remote is pretty self-explanatory. It sends control delete to the remote computer. So I've done that here. And
nice.
And then again, you can handle you can work through the dialogues there. Reconnect after reboot's a bit of an interesting one, and that's the one that you were asking about. So there, you can do a standard reboot, so just a regular plain old reboot. You can reboot into safe mode, and
safe mode with networking, I guess, is what it would be.
It is, yes. And then you can also force an emergency reboot.
What's different?
So there are times where you have a particularly nasty virus that won't let you reboot the computer, or won't let you do a lot of things, including sometimes move the mouse type on the keyboard, that sort of thing. Forcing emergency reboot basically says to the operating system, this is critical. We need to reboot now, and Windows does everything it can in order to do the reboot.
Force close apps and restart.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I very much don't want to have I don't want to have to tell my end user to click on anything for me.
Right.
What happens if an end user has a login password? Is there any way to say, could you put your password in for me, and it'll cache it, so I don't have to keep asking him to do it every time we reboot?
No, and
so I will have to ask them.
It's by design to not keep passwords inside the software. It's too much of a security risk. If somebody gets access to your account, they have access to God knows how many passwords.
Well, so there's a plus and minus to this, right? You can see it from both sides.
Absolutely.
If the user tells me their password, I can say, look, I'll work on this when you go to bed. In the morning when you wake up, it'll be done. What's your password? Because I'm going to need to reboot this countless times throughout the night. Or the software can cache it, at least for the session. Right.
So I would rather you put it into a password manager, a piece of software that's designed to hold passwords securely, and then there's actually a feature specific to this.
Oh, like a valet.
So that allows you to. It's right here. Paste clipboard to login screen. So so that allows you to take it from your password manager and then paste it to the login screen.
Interesting solution to that.
Yeah.
Refresh screen. I kept noticing when the scammers would connect to me remotely, they constantly refresh my screen. How come?
I don't know.
Why do you have it?
Because every now and then something gets missed, and then an icon looks a little bit wonky, so people can refresh the screen.
Okay. What else you got?
Request unattended access. This is your favorite. So if you want to ask your customer for unattended access, now notice you don't automatically get to take unattended access. You have to request it. Do you mind if I show you how this works?
Let me bring my screen up. It'll be small, but let me bring that up so we can see both sides at the same time.
Sure.
Because you said there's another remote access program that asks the user for permission for file transfer, and then I can click yes.
Right.
And you just said user account control passes through.
Right.
I'm going to assume this doesn't pass through.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, well, let's watch that. Hold on a second. Let me add another video capture device to our screen. Give me just a second, folks. I will have it here in just a second. That's not it. This has got to be it right here. Okay, and then let me just minimize this. Not minimize it, let me resize it. This is going to get really interesting. Where can I put it where it's not going to block our view? Let's just do it like this. I'll try my best. If it gets in the way, let me know, and we'll kind of cover us up a little bit. We want to see you typing, and then that way you can see everything's tied together between the screens. Okay, so you want to request access. What happens now?
So you'll notice down here it says remote suspended, waiting for customer.
How long will it wait?
Right here, I think it's 60 seconds. I can't quite see on the screen.
You know what,
there.
I got to make the screen big again.
No, we can just check on here.
Oh, I suppose I could just look at my screen.
Yeah, so 60 seconds.
Okay.
But you'll notice that I'm not able to click this. I cannot click yes. It needs to be the customer who allows the unattended access.
Very good. So I come over here and I click yes. What does that do?
That gives me unattended access.
I mean, what do I see to confirm? Oh, your contact specialist. So you can fill that out, but you just can't confirm it.
Right.
Okay. That makes sense. Obviously, if you've been given permission, you shouldn't need the end user. The idea is to take as much burden off the end user as possible. So I see what you've done there.
There we go, and that's done. So now you are in my unattended access list.
So there's, what does that look like, the unattended access list? Is that like a chat window that shows you who's online?
Let me see if I can figure out which computer's which. Here we go.
It does get confusing.
Unattended access list looks like this. And there's CareyHolzman.
Look at that. Okay, great. Let's go back to the top of the screen. So file, connection, what else? What's next on the list?
Request remote control. So if I'm in view only mode, I can ask the customer for remote control. Accept payment. This is an interesting one, where if you have, say, PayPal, or we can integrate with pretty much anybody, you can get paid through the app. So you click accept payment, say I want $50, and then you're going to click OK. I'm not currently integrated, so it's not going to do anything. But it would take you to a PayPal page, which would say remote services $50, please pay me now.
I like how you got the calculator right there.
Yes.
Yeah, because sometimes it does take some math depending on what you're doing for the customer. What's a conference call?
Conference call is if you have more than one technician on your account, you can bring multiple technicians in to help a customer or escalate
Simultaneously?
Simultaneously.
So it's not just like transferring to another tech.
You can do both. You can transfer to another tech, or you can have two techs working on the computer at the same time. In fact, you can have up to 10 techs.
How does anybody get control of the mouse?
Working. That's a very good question. They have to arrange it between themselves. It's
choreography.
Where it's typically used is there are some larger remote support shops. They'll have a salesperson tier, and a tech tier. The salesperson will connect first, and then they'll pass it off to a tech. That's the most common.
I would imagine the techs are going to be talking to each other.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's fine. All right, so that covers the connection tab. On the file tab, enable remote printing. That's an interesting, and there's your file transfer, chat, record session video. That's important for training purposes and also for evidence, I suppose, of work completed.
Yep.
Save screenshot. I suppose you could do that within Windows, but this is just making it a step easier.
Exactly.
And when you save screenshot, does it just automatically save the file? So it's not like Windows where you've got to paste it into like Paint and then save it using the snipping tool? Or...
It'll ask you where you want to save the file, but yeah, it'll
Okay.
automatically save the file.
Notes, profile, and history. I assume that is associated with that specific customer. So a tech just jumping in for the first time can see the previous history and notes of this customer's history.
Yes.
Past work that's been done.
So if I say removed a virus, so this is a brief description of what we've done. So I removed a virus, and it was the name of virus.
Virut, V-I-R-U-T.
Virus removed using super tool, etc.
Okay.
Okay, and then that is going to go into a log, and it also shows your customer what you said.
I see that on the small screen there. Okay, well, obviously everything we're going to see on the small screen below us is what you're seeing on your window within your windows, but I want to just prove this to my audience that there's no magic here. Okay, now, everything we've seen so far, I don't see, oh wait, what's that? Oh, that's just customer contact info.
Customer tab, and then private notes. So if you want to say nasty things about your customer, this is where you do
Or
it.
you want to store the customer's login password, they trust you,
Yep.
and it's always the same, and you connect after hours and you can't remember what it is because you've got a million customers.
That's where it goes.
Okay. Is it secure? Or I'm just one tech, so I'm the only one that's going to look at it, but if you were in office, that may or may not be a good idea. I mean, if you were in an office of many techs,
Right.
that may not be a good practice, but you can use it for whatever you want to use it for.
Absolutely.
Okay. This is a log of the sessions, and I suppose the amount of time spent on the session?
Yep, you will, once this session is ended, then the ended will get a timestamp, and you'll be able to take a look and go back and do your billing if you need to. There's also reports that you can pull in the administrator control panel that allow you to figure that stuff out as well, and they have the duration specifically in them.
Now, a lot of one of the things I don't like about free software is when the product is free, you are the product. Mm-hmm. And it's often limited, there's no support, there's no help, and it's very limited in what you can do. Mm-hmm. One of the reasons a tech needs to connect to a customer requires utilizing tools to perhaps determine the assets of the machine, what's the processor, what's the RAM, what's the hard drive status, how full is it, clearing out temp files, removing viruses, and then you have to do all that by hand.
Right.
But I understand, I've heard through word of mouth, mm-hmm. yours specifically, mm-hmm. that these tools are built in to Instant Housecall?
Yeah, so Instant Housecall has what's called Auto PC Repair. So some folks might know it as D7. And that has a lot of those tools built into the software. So this will take maybe up to a minute to run. It's just configuring right now.
Okay.
And that has all of the reports and tools and stuff built in order to get the diagnostics going on your customer's computer, to automate your repairs, and to simplify things a great deal.
But out of the box, does it do anything, or do I, as the tech, configure it to do basically scripting? I want to run this and I want to run that.
Combination of the two. So there's some built-in apps. There's some apps that it comes with generically, and then you can add your own apps to it afterwards. So there it goes. So you can add your own apps. And I should mention also that your branding, the branding that we were talking about that you configure, also comes over to this as well, because your customer is going to be able to see what we're doing right here.
Checking Windows activation. Checking event logs. Oh, look at this.
So in a nutshell,
Holy moly.
if you click on anything red, it will take you to, so for example, there are device manager problems. It'll take you to the device manager problems and tell you exactly what's going on. Sony firmware extension, I can't read that.
Parse device. Parser device.
Parser device. So there's an issue.
I have an issue I don't even know.
There you go. And that's what
I hear that a lot from customers. I tell that to customers. I go, did you know that this isn't working? And they go, no. And usually when I'm done, they're like, hey, it works a lot better now. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So that saves some of the sleuthing. It's bringing it to me instead of me digging it.
Exactly.
For it.
Exactly.
Okay, good.
Exactly.
Good. Now this is not, so basically this is D7 integrated into Instant Housecall.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so D7 is a separate product, but there's no added expense for this in Instant Housecall. It's all part of the deal.
Included for free.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's a special version of D7 specifically made for Instant Housecall, so it has some tools that make sense specifically for a remote support session. So for example, if we say Google this, it opens up
I love it.
the browser on the technician's computer.
I love it, because you don't want the customer watching you Google stuff.
Nobody wants to. Yeah.
Nobody wants, never show them how you make the hot dogs.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Exactly. Does that make sense?
It's brilliant. What just happened?
I just closed a tab.
Oh, okay. There's a lot of information on the screen here. I'm sure when you get accustomed to it, your eyes will be automatically directed to this, whatever is your technique. I'm impressed with the amount of information. I like the very top. I see the RAM. I see the operating system. I see that it's 64-bit. I see how full the C drive is. This is all stuff I'm accustomed to doing manually.
Right.
This makes I do tend to do things the hard way. I like controlled automation, if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. So this is information that I always want. I don't know about DHCP. I guess you can see here that we are on OpenDNS. I recognize the 208-67-22022. I'm a nerd. I know that number like it's my girlfriend's phone number. I shouldn't say that, I'm married now. Shoot, I hope my wife doesn't watch this. Okay, so now scrolling down here, on the left side, we've got report views, notes. What's that, auto diagnose? Is that what it says? Audit to diagnose. What does that mean?
So these are routines that you're able to run. And let's say I want to do an info report. I'm just making this up. Last activity view and web browser history.
No, you don't want to look at that.
And then I want to run crystal disk info.
Oh, look at that!
And a bunch of other stuff that I can't quite see. So let's say I want to run all that stuff. I would click those off, and then I would click Start Auto Mode.
And it just executes that as a script.
Top to bottom, left to right, it'll execute all of them as if it were a script.
Nice. Malware removal, what's that? I see on the left side, back to the left, malware removal.
Same type of idea.
What's removing it? Oh, you pick what you want to remove it.
You pick which tools you want to use.
So it's kind of like, so it's almost like Nick Shaw, who's the D7 creator, has integrated Ninite into this or something. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, and so then, and then what's cool is if you have routines that you use frequently, you can add them to this drop-down menu.
So you can make your own.
And you can make your own. So let's say I've got one. Let's say I want to do none of this stuff, and I want.
Yeah, I don't see the MC Soft. Oh yeah, it's in there. MC Soft. I don't see the emergency kit.
And I click Save Profile. And anytime I want to use that same routine,
can I add apps that are not in there?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
In the custom app through Config down here.
Gotcha. Anybody familiar with D7? I mean, this is a different product, and you can learn more about D7. I'm sure there are YouTube videos that cover it, and maybe I'll do one with Nick Shaw about it. But I just like that this is integrated. It's at no additional cost. And if you're doing a lot of the same thing over and over again, you get consistency. Because sometimes I forget, did I do that or did I not do it?
Right.
Especially when you want to go through a bunch of stuff.
Right.
And if you're doing two at the same time,
right.
Did I do it on this one or did I do it on that one? So the automation through this is brilliant.
Yeah, so same type of thing. You would click off the items that you want to do, and there's a bunch already checked. Or you can choose the profile from up here, and then click Start Auto Mode, and it'll go top to bottom, left to right.
Nice. Are you a PC tech? Is this why you did this?
I'm not a PC tech. This is why I bought it from someone else.
So you're a businessman.
I am.
Okay. Well, as a PC tech, you've got it right. It is a bane of my existence that business people create products they themselves don't use, and then the people who use them struggle and wonder, why is it like this?
Right.
So you are a rare exception that you fully understand as though your life's income, your quality of life dependent on it, as techs do. We rely on these tools, and it's very frustrating to us. When I say us, I'm speaking on behalf of all techs. I have their permission. When we utilize tools that we wonder why in the world, what were they thinking? And it's obvious that they don't use their own product.
Right.
So this is great. This is a great integration. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. We'll continue down. We've got maintenance. What is maintenance? Below malware removal on the left. All right. A lot to talk about here. We'll just leave that on the screen for a minute. Let the viewers look through that. Below that, we've got Windows Repair. Let's take a look at that. We'll see what options exist here. Lots and lots of bells, whistles, and features. WinSock fixes. That doesn't really happen so much anymore these days, but this was a big, big issue for a while, and it might be a big issue again. So I like that it's kept there. Let's go down to the next one. Outsource.
Customize, install.
Oh, customize. Wow, the screen is so little.
It's very hard to see.
So for you guys, you're kind of seeing what we're seeing. There's a window in a window in a window, and we're on a 40-inch screen, but it's 10 feet away or 8 feet away, and it's, forgive us, and we're old and can't see or hear. I'm older than you, so don't worry about it. You're a young pup. General, brand OS, what does that mean?
I believe it changes the splash screen, but to be honest, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, that's more of a D7 question. Let's go to the next one down. Everybody, the viewers can see all these options. We would spend 20 hours on this interview if we went through everything, guys, so we're just gonna kind of do a quick overview here. This is QA and testing, so there's a stress utility, a performance utility, browser tests, speed tests for the internet. Again, most of this stuff I do by hand. I like that it can be automated. I can do multiple things at the same time. What are tweaks? We can go down one. Tweaks, what do we have? Hidden, oh, okay, showing hidden files. Super hidden files, I don't know what that means. File extensions, taskbar, balloon tips, oh, turn those on and off, that's nice. Load disk space checks, nice. Crash control, great. And then below that, we've got the configuration, decloud. What is decloud?
Decloud is something for customers of Nick's who are also customers of mine. So if they want to save their configuration instead of on the Instant Housecall cloud, but on the decloud, they can do that.
Okay, so if they're using D7 on site, for example.
Yes, if they're using it not through a remote session. So this only works through remote sessions.
Gotcha. And then, what does that bottom one say? Close with, next one down? No, down on the left.
Yeah, I'm closing the window.
Oh, close with options, is that what it says?
Yep.
And then close and save reports.
Right.
Okay. Let's go ahead and close out D7. I mean, this is this was just one menu item. We spent all this time talking about this one thing, and I want to keep moving. And that was all under Auto PC Repair?
All under Auto PC Repair, yeah. So Auto PC Repair, there's two options. You can launch it right away, or you can create a restore point and launch it.
Nice. That's really nice, because if you screw it up, you've got a safety net.
Yeah, exactly.
I assume help is just self-explanatory.
Self-explanatory, online help. And then this timer tells you how long you've been connected.
Have we skipped anything?
We haven't covered things like file transfer. So if you want to transfer a file, you right-click on the file, and you choose transfer to.
That's easy.
Piece of cake. And like I said, this is transparent to your customer. So you can't transfer files without it being transparent to your customer. Exactly. And if I were to transfer a file in the other direction, I can drag and drop it.
Yeah, you can move that photo right there. That's the test results.
So I can either, is it okay if I open that on the remote machine?
Absolutely, yes. And that will display that to the end user.
And that displays it to the end user.
Nice.
Yeah.
Quite useful.
Make sense?
Absolutely makes sense. I like it when things make sense.
Cool. Do you want me to show you how the time window, what the time window looks like?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I'm going to end the session, and there's a whole whack of features in the end session dialog.
So we finished. I've helped you. You're good to go. I need to get paid. I hate bringing this up to the customer. I assume this is all going to be part of that, or no?
The payment you can do during the session. So if we went here to connection accept payment.
So that doesn't happen during the end session?
It doesn't happen during the end session.
So,
no.
all right, let's talk about what happens during the end session, because to me, it is, don't you just end after that? What else is there?
Well, there's lots. So if you're not unattended, then you can remove the customer's software.
So
this,
I like that.
This becomes very handy when you've got paranoid customers.
Will you do that for me so we can see? So guys, just below us is my computer. This laptop right here is on the screen below. Corey is over here on a desktop off on the floor. I want to see what both sides look like when you do that.
Okay, so I'm not able to do that because the customer is granted unattended access permission.
Oh, that's right, we did.
Yeah, so with unattended access, you can't remove the software until you get rid of the unattended access.
Well, let's say, right, how do I get rid of the unattended access? Can I? Is it reversible?
Here, I can get rid of it.
So we've closed the session, now you're gonna reopen a session. Oh, no, you don't even have to, you just delete.
Just delete.
You actually have an option to delete that's so cool. All right, so now you haven't removed the software, you've only removed the unattended access permission.
Correct.
All right.
So now I can remove the software.
Okay, and what else can you do?
So we'll make sure that's checked.
Yep.
And then open customer's browser to a specific URL.
So I could do like a monkey survey or survey monkey, whatever that's called, that sort of thing.
Surveymonkey.com.
Monkey survey.
Add session notes, so those notes that we were looking at before.
Oh, so the customer can see them?
So the customer can see them.
Customer is a jerk. Oh, I should have checked that box.
If you want your customer to see them, you would say show them via browser. I didn't type an email address for you, so
right. So that option's grayed out, which is good.
But we can show it to them by showing it through the customer browser, and then when I end the session.
Wait. Yep. Down below, there's a very important checkbox.
Yep.
Always use these settings so you don't have to keep doing the same darn thing over and over, because that would be inconsistent with the rest of the software, which automates everything else. So you thought this through. Very good. Okay, I like it. And then you hit end session. Now, looking at the screen below, Corey and I in the upper right corner, we should start to see something happening. There it is.
So again, this would be branded for you if you had branding. I'm not sure how to point, but right now you can see on the bottom left-hand side of the customer computer.
I can go full screen on this for everybody to see it better. Okay. So where am I looking?
Okay, so it says your remote support session is ended, removing remote, and so that's being
it's doing it right now.
And you can see at the bottom left with the little highlighted installer, there it is, that it's in the midst of removing the software.
Yeah, that was just in the background because this came up after. There's the notes you typed in. There's the specialist's name who did the work. There's the time and date of starting the session, and then again ending the session.
Exactly.
And then there's your information, remote session confirmation, the name of the company, the phone number of the company. It's also here again. It's good. I like it. So how many millions of dollars is this?
$29 a month.
Or discounted if you buy?
$29 a month is the discounted rate.
Okay.
So it's $29 a month.
If you buy how many months?
If you buy 12 months, if you buy it by the
1
year.
year, okay.
It's $39 a month if you go month to month.
Okay.
And then there are tiers above that as well.
All right. Are there any bells, whistles, or features that we have not discussed that you would like to discuss?
I think we've covered it.
That's much faster than I thought it was going to be.
There you go.
I like simple, but I also like that you can get more complicated, you can get more complex if you want to. All right, now, I'm sorry guys, we have not been paying attention to the chat. Let's do that now. If you have questions for Corey, please ask those questions now. I want to see if I've missed any super chat contributions. Well, we've been, yes, JHP Hawaii Photos contributed $5. He says, thank you for introducing an alternate remote software. Keep up the great work. Thank you for your contribution, JHP Hawaii Photo. That's my goal. I'm sure many people have never heard of Instant House Call before, and that's what I'm trying to do. I don't want to just keep doing the same thing everybody else does. Those other a lot of big corporations have big multi-million-dollar marketing budgets, as I said, and we're looking for something that has more value. Let me ask you a question. If there's something that I want added, can I have it added? Is there any way that I can say, Corey, can I have this feature? And I'm not asking you to change the software for everybody below. I'm wondering, is there features that have been added to Instant House Call as a result of somebody saying, can I have this? And
I would say most features are because people have asked for them. That's why it's very technician focused.
Try and get that from the competition. That's all I'm saying. Just try. Good luck. I mean, I can't imagine you got a big support team. I imagine you do a lot of it yourself.
I do a lot of the support myself.
Where else are you going to get a piece of software you get to talk to the guy who actually can manipulate and change the code to the software? I mean, you're not going to get that from competitors in this space. Not that I'm aware of.
Right.
You can open a support ticket, you're just another number, and you're handled by oftentimes a script reading. Anyway, we'll get into it. But the contributions come in, $19.99. That's come from Tim Burchard. He says, hi, Carey. Got to make up for, okay, I've asked you, I always love watching your videos. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Tim. I am so using Instant House Call. That's what Chisholm 2 says. Jitesh, awesome software demonstration, very customizable and professional. Not only that, it's a simple GUI, graphical user interface, and it's user-friendly. Overall, I'd rate Instant House Call software a 10 out of 10. Very kind, thank you. Freddie Tamidi says A++, good work software, very good to use. Mean GR says that's a great discount on the year subscription. It's a lot cheaper than, it's the cheapest I've heard of so far. Can you purchase this in the UK?
Yes.
Can you purchase it, should we name every country one by one?
You can purchase it in any country in the world.
Okay. Black Dog says hello to Carey and Corey. Corey spells his name the same way as I do, just so you know. Not that it matters. Thank you. Hello. Just change the A for now. That's a great piece of software for Michael Howley. Wait, they're preaching to the choir. You guys.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Looks like a great product. Very good software. Love the controls and the securities. After being around 10 years, I think you've nailed it.
I'm glad to hear it. That's awesome.
We haven't gone this in depth before, and the software has really evolved since the last time you and I talked.
It has.
Which was in Chicago in 2016, 15?
15 or 16.
Yeah. James Baker says hello to you.
Greg M.
I'm sorry?
Greg M has asked that question.
Is D7 included in all 3 versions of Instant House Call?
So the answer to that is by default no, but if you reach out to me and tell me that you're one of Carey's viewers, then yes.
How would they reach out to you?
Corey at instanthousecall.com.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to type it in here. Corey at instanthousecall.com.
There we go.
Oh, I spelled it wrong. Corey at instant hose. You hoser. I got to get a Canadian jab in there. Can I remove this other one? Yeah, good. Let's get that one. Oh, it's not letting me. All right, well, ignore that first one I did. I'm a very fast typoist.
So yeah, so to answer the question, normally it's included in the Express and the Professional, so the middle tier and the top tier. The Uno edition, which I think is the one he's probably asking about, doesn't typically include the D7 software, but again, for your viewers, it will be included.
I would imagine the Uno version is then a smaller, lighter, quicker download.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Does it handle screen resolution changes?
Yes, it does. That's a good question.
I noticed on other software it turns off blending mode, and I never know what that means. Do I check it? Do I uncheck it? I didn't see that option in Instant. Is it just doing this stuff automatically?
It does everything automatically, yeah.
I see options like give full control to, well, you should be giving me full control. That's why, but you do have a view only mode, right?
There is a view only mode. So those
That's more
options
for training.
are available underneath the, it's for training or for people who are paranoid. There's some
There's
people,
no good giving me remote access to fix something if you won't give me control to fix it.
I'm with
but
you.
if we're training, then I don't need control. I just want to show you something.
I'm with you. People want it.
All right. I want you to help me, but I want you to tie your hands behind your back. Now help me lift this table into the next room. Here, let me show you what the table looks like.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. It's there. You don't have to use it. I know you can control MacBooks, but can the technician be using a MacBook? Is there software for Mac? So if I'm the tech and I'm a Mac tech,
Yep.
Can I connect to a Windows machine and work on it from a Mac or vice versa?
The answer is yes. It's currently in beta. You can get it from instanthousecall.com, camel case, specialist, Mac beta.zip.
You know what? Please do the honors and type that into the chat room for us so that we...
Whoop, I lost...
You're over here?
Yeah, no, I know. I lost, you click the mouse and I'm not able to type.
Oh, that's my bad. All right, you're good there, right? So you just want to continue where you were? Or do you want to go all the way back? No, okay. Does it work when Windows is doing its update? Blue screen. What does that mean, blue screen?
I'm assuming it's the... I'm assuming it's that he's referring to the screen where it says updating X%.
Oh, yeah. You're not going to see that, are you? Or
Yes,
are
you do. Yes, you do.
That's right, because it does establish the network connection, and then it does the standby will updates are completing screen.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I wanted to see from start. We'll watch later again. You can rewind this video. We're in DVR mode, so right now you can drag your mouse backwards while we're live. The goat says thank you so much to the goat. You're welcome. I do speak fluent goat.
Really?
Yeah.
Where'd you pick that up?
I would tell you that I dated a sheep, but that's just politically incorrect. But it was funny, and I had to go, I'm sorry, anything for a joke. Old School Funk and Soul says, great software. Hey, listen, when Old School Funk and Soul, you can get approval from Old School Funk and Soul, that's okay in my book.
Absolutely.
All right. Anybody have any questions for Corey? Just love the guy has a Sony Vial. No, that's my Sony Vial. That's not his. Can I be a beta tester? Do you run beta tests regularly, or is it
with existing customers?
So okay. So if you're an existing customer, then that's an option available to you. Is there a Wake Up LAN support?
No, not at this time.
I've never used Wake Up LAN ever. ever. That is generally in use in-house in large corporations by IT departments.
Right.
Again, I usually encourage my customers to keep their computers on 24/7. Don't let them go to sleep. Don't let them hibernate, but go ahead and let the screen go to sleep. You know, you can adjust to turn your display off after a certain period of time. I usually set 10 or 15 minutes. Computers sip power nowadays. Processors automatically, rack down, and the power is really, it's just sipping the power. Harry Baldwin's contributed $2 to the channel. Harry, thank you for your support. Carey, have you had that laptop a long time? There is a story about this laptop I won't get into at this time, but this belonged to a now deceased customer of mine. Philip Moss, does it work if the user is using a VPN?
Yes, it does.
Does it have any issues with firewalls or routers?
Nope, it works seamlessly through firewalls and routers.
Just as we demonstrated. We
Yes.
didn't do anything to my firewall. We literally did it as you saw. There was no preparation or conditioning. If there are some remote programs that are very limited, basically just giving you keyboard and mouse control, where you've got to know the IP address on the computer and you've got to port forward you've got to know how to configure your router to do port forwarding, and if the computer doesn't have a static IP, you have to do it all over again. So for many of you, I just spoke a different language, and I apologize, but for those of you who know, you understand what I'm saying. That doesn't apply with this software. This just automates the whole thing. Does it work with screen readers? We do have a lot of visually impaired viewers.
It's an excellent question. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, you know, different screen readers. JAWS, I think, is a very common one, or it used to be. And how the version of them and how they work within the software is more on the screen reader than it is on you, as far as I know, than it is on the app developer. Bill Puseat says, I just sent you $50. I didn't get to add a message. Sorry, thank you for your help with my computer. Can't wait for it to arrive Saturday. Awesome, Bill. Again, Bill is the gentleman who had the bad reset button. It was an interesting diagnostic. If you haven't seen it, click the videos, but you don't, not yet. But when we're done here, if you're looking for more content, click my name and then click on videos, and you'll see a bunch of different videos. I expose scammers and how they work and how they will exploit other remote access software products, and do everything I can to educate the end user and to encourage common everyday folks to take back control of their computer and understand this is not magic. This is very simple stuff. Is this Linux compatible?
You can use it through Wine.
You can use it through Wine. Windows, what is it? W-I-N-E-A. Windows, I can't remember what Wine stands for. Can you install like Office? I don't know what he means. You can install software remotely, I guess, if you have the installation files. You could transfer the installation files as you would transfer any file and then install it. You can install the program like any other program on the client's computer for unattended access, just as we demonstrated, but you'd have to have the client give you access first. Is it a one-time install, or can you use it on different machines? Well, I imagine if you are the end user, you would have to install it on each machine. And if you're the tech, you could install it on any machine, and then the credentials that you use to log into.
Right.
So could it be, if I have a license from you, can I install it on multiple machines simultaneously?
Yes, you can
or
install
is
it
a
on
price per machine?
as many computers as you want, as a technician or as a customer.
But so how is it limited? By how many simultaneous connections?
The number of simultaneous logins with a given email address.
So as long as I'm not connecting, so if I've got 10 computers and I'm only using one of them at a time as the tech initiating the session, that's one connection.
Say that again?
Yeah, that's just confusing. Okay, let's say I got my summer house, I got my winter house, I got my fall house, I got my spring house, and because I'm a really wealthy computer tech,
Right.
and I have different computers there.
Yeah.
And so I've installed Instant Housecall so I can support my customers while I'm away at my different homes.
Okay.
But I always leave my computers on, and I'm always signed in to Instant Housecall on all four. And I'm cheap, so I have the cheapest version of Instant Housecall.
Right.
Will it prevent me from connecting to any of my clients that need help because I've signed in on all my other machines?
You can only be signed in from one computer at any given time.
What happens if I try to install? Will it make me have to drive home?
No,
It'll just disconnect me?
Sign them out and then bring it back in.
Good answer.
There
Who
was
thought of this?
There was a very good question that touches on a feature a little bit upstairs, and I can't remember the name of the person who asked
Let me
it.
scroll up. Oh, Wine is not an emulator. That's what Wine is recursive.
So Bird 203
Okay. Go ahead, read it.
asked, Corey, does it work when the end user has no install rights on a company PC?
Oh, a guest or not administrator.
Fantastic question. The answer is yes. So there's there's software. If you go to one of our computers,
What do you want me to do? Go to a screen?
bring up a screen. Okay, perfect. And if I
Hold on, let me make this big so you can see it. Oh, because it's not installing, it's only running.
So
right?
Not necessarily. So if you click on the download button here, it will not work. But if you click on having trouble, click here to download Safe Applet, the Safe Applet will run from temp. And you can do that on computers that are not locked down.
Nice, I think.
It's good.
I see a good side and a bad side. We
know.
lock them down for a reason.
I know.
Speaking from the tech side.
I know.
If it's locked down, you need to talk to the person who locked it down, not to some stranger over the phone.
Yeah.
But there are occasions when the guy who locked it down quit, or is sick, or is unavailable, and you need someone else to help you.
Right.
Okay.
So there you go.
But at least when they reboot, it's gone.
When they reboot, it's gone.
Good, very good. I don't think you could ask for a better balance than that. Otherwise, it's one side or the other side. It's no, yeah. I think you've handled that well. Or can you serial port jump as guest host type intervention? Well, I think we've already answered it. Is there a free version? There's a 15-day trial.
15-day free trial.
We don't, look guys, when there's a free version, you don't want the free version. Trust me, you don't want the free version. There's no support. A lot of times when companies offer you a free version, they're like a drug dealer. You know, your first couple of hits are free. And you guys know companies have done this in the past, right? They get you to like really get addicted to their product, and then they go, no more free version anymore. So there is a free trial. And well, what do you say we give away a couple copies just to the skepticists and the...
Sure.
All right. Let's give away... Do we want... Well, 3 licenses? For...
6 months?
6 months each.
Sure.
Fictions has just contributed $20, 20 Norwegian krona. Coke's on me, informative as always. Thank you, Fictions. Nick Poverman says, thanks, guys. Let me just scroll up, see what we missed. Carey, will you be using Instant Housecall in your business? Absolutely. What I've been using angers me. Corey got to witness me screaming and yelling at it the other day, and he laughed just like he did just now, because he's there going, you're such an idiot, Carey. If you were using my product, you wouldn't have any of this issue, and I don't cost as much as they do, and I can do everything they can do and more. And I said, save it for the show. That really happened. I'm just scrolling up to see if we missed any questions. I'm sorry, guys, you may have to retype your question if we missed it. We've got 429 people watching. Give us a shout out if nothing else. Let us know where you are watching us from, please. This product works worldwide, is available worldwide. TeamViewer has a swap the control where the customer can control the text computer. I would hope you do not have this feature.
No, that's not an Instant Housecall. What is an Instant Housecall is the ability to view, to show the customer their screen. So if you are doing some sort of a tutorial, you can actually reverse screen share, but you can't swap control the way you're describing.
And that's a question from Rich Robbins. Thank you for the question, Rich. That's a good question. There are no bad questions, really. Corey, I think I found my product I want for my computer. Thanks, Corey. That's from Bird203. Glenn Gregg is saying goodbye. Goodbye, Glenn. Thanks for joining us today. So I think what we'll do on the giveaway is a typical thing I like to do, which leave a comment when this video is available after the live, because right now the live chat's going on and you can't leave comments, but as soon as we wrap it up, it'll process to be available for regular viewing. That way you'll see the chat room happening as it was recorded, and then below the video you can leave a comment. You don't have to just say anything you want. That will enter you into the contest. When we pick a winner, or winners, we'll pick 3. When I say we, I mean you will pick 3, because I know these people, I know many, and I don't want it to seem biased.
Okay.
You don't, so you will be completely random. You don't know who anybody is. And then what I'll do is I will respond to your comment saying, congratulations, you're a winner. You'll get a little heart next to your comment, and I will tell you to email me to proceed with how you can collect your winnings, if you will. And look at this. We've got the viewers chiming in from Putnam, New York, Red Bank, New Jersey, Bonnie, Scotland, Qatar, Ottawa, Canada, Lincoln, Nebraska. Apparently, someone's in a cornfield. Andrew is from Manchester, UK, Solihull, UK, watching from Franklin, Pennsylvania, Heath, Ohio, London, England, Sydney, Australia, Sharon, Massachusetts, Dublin, Ireland, Philadelphia. What's YK? YK? I think they meant UK. Romania. Hi, Carey and Hi, Carey from Carey, North Carolina. Falkirk, Scotland, New Jersey, Clement, Florida, Malaysia, UK, and impressed with this software. That's DSL DG2. Hiddenley, Lancashire. What is the minimum bandwidth requirement?
Any regular high-speed internet. I've even got customers who use satellite, and it's fine.
UK, another viewer in UK, a viewer in Greece, a viewer in Hertfordshire. Lots of UK viewers. Norway, of course. Wyoming, Athens, Greece, Sweden. Rialto, California. Dorset in the UK. Belgium. Canberra, Australia. London. Wonderful. Thanks all you guys for joining us live here. I am in Phoenix, Arizona, and Corey has come all the way out. Or did he? Is this nothing more than a green screen? And you're just a CGI effect. It's almost like I can touch you. You're like, please don't touch me. Okay. South Africa, and he says, I will definitely use the software in my new business. It looks great. That's from Conrad Sheepers. I like it when people appear to have real names. I assume that's a real name rather than all of these handles. Some of these handles I don't even know how to say. The goat is in Belfast, North Ireland. Irving T, I know for a fact, is in France. I think he's the only person in France watching us. France, you may not know this, it's kind of like Montreal.
Really?
Let's see what else we have. Thanks for the help. Black Dog is in Colorado. With the D7 integrated tools, this is from Aaron Lynch. If I do an unattended repair using them, is there a report I can save on the customer's desktop or email to them showing them what was done and removed?
There are reports that you can do. I'm not sure if they enumerate everything that you've done. It's something I'd have to go back to the documentation and take a look. I'm not sure on that one.
Pat Hacker says, how can you have a keyboard but no tower or monitor? This may be a surprise to you, but the room we're in is bigger than the screen you can see. There could be like 75 people just right over there and right over there. You would never know. In fact, this whole thing could be an illusion. This tower is actually on the floor, and the screen is the screen I'm looking at right now, and that's why I can't see the chat room when we're looking at the screen, if that makes any sense. That's the magic of video, folks. Question, I like how people preface a question by saying, question, answer. All right, sorry. The tools in D7 portion get updated regularly, or do we need to update them ourselves?
They get updated regularly. You can update them yourself as well. So you can go into the config tab and change whatever you like or dislike and add and remove.
It's fully customizable.
Fully customizable, yeah.
Patrick Rousseau, thank you for that question. Steve Jenigan says hello from Lower Alabama. Hello, Steve. Thanks for joining us. Solo wants to know, is Dell Connect a version of this software? I don't know.
I'm not familiar with Dell Connect.
Apparently, the answer is no.
No, the answer is no.
Pat Hacker says, thank you for explaining. Well, thank you for asking. What else do we have? Again, guys, if you have questions, now's the time to ask, or we are going to wrap up the feed. I don't want this to be a 3 or 4 hour marathon because Corey has a life, unlike me. But yes, we want to take advantage. We've got the founder and creator of the software sitting right here. This is literally, no, it's not literally, the horse's mouth. Well, that almost came out completely wrong. But there's no hearsay. What he tells you, who knows better? Who's better than you with Instant Housecall? I mean, who knows it better than you?
Yeah, fair
So
enough.
take advantage of that, guys. If you have a question, please take advantage of this. I mean, I assume you probably visit the comment section and may answer some questions.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
When you're back home. Stan says hello from London. Cheers, Stan. Is the automation software related to D7X?
Yes. Yeah, it's the same thing.
That's from Nick Poverman. Yeah, same thing?
It's different UI, but same guts.
Concept.
Yeah.
What's up with the VIO? I just needed a machine to test. I needed to hook up. Guys, I have a streaming computer. We need a sending computer. We need a receiving computer to demo. There's wires and cables everywhere in here. And this was easy to have a keyboard, mouse, and screen. It was one less bundle of wires I had to set up. It was quick and dirty. And this is Windows 7. And the machine over there is Windows 10. It showed that the interoperability between Windows 7 and 10 with the interaction with Instant Housecall. Rather than just say it, we've demonstrated it. I think that speaks volumes much more than words do. Pat DeMarco says hello from Staten Island. Nick says apparently they use D7 at his work, and thank you. Thanks for your question, Nick. Mike Ladd says, if I ran a business, I'd definitely use this software, and I would recommend it to friends I know and will do. Thank you, Corey. Well, Mike, start a business. There you go. We're giving you the tools. Now, get to work. Laptop fan is giving it some. Well, if that's really bothering you guys, yeah, the laptop fan is a bit loud in here. Carey, do you employ people? Oh, look, people are looking for jobs. Do you employ people to work from home?
I do employ people, and they do work from home.
Darren Gilholm says hello from Newcastle, UK. I like your beer.
Like your beer?
Newcastle? You ever had Newcastle?
Oh, no.
Oh, it's a good beer. It's a brown beer.
Really?
Brown ale. It's good. I don't even like brown ale. But I guess I do if it's Newcastle. Great product and great stream. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you for your kind words and support. Nick says he'll be talking to his admin about this software. We appreciate that. Steve Larkin says hello from the UK. Carey, when you get very rich, stay as nice as you are. Yes, I will remember all of you little people. Bill Leatherland joins us from the UK. Bill's a longtime supporter of the channel. Thank you, Bill. Michael C. says it's real ale. I guess we're back to Newcastle again. There's that 90-second delay I was telling you about.
Right.
Hello from Daytona Beach, Florida. That's from John Sunchak. Spider-Man the Hero wants to know if you can update drivers on the customer computers. Let me tell you something about updating drivers. If you were to update a driver that caused the machine to no longer boot, you're going to get in your car, I think. I mean, what are you going to do? If a driver prevents the machine from booting, you can't get into Windows, you can't get into Instant Housecall or any other remote software.
Right.
You better be very careful if you're depending on the driver. I would be very so the answer is yes. Anything you can do with a keyboard and mouse at the customer's desk is what you can do remotely with the keyboard and mouse at the customer's desk. Driver installs pretty easy, but driver installs, especially if you're using a third-party driver utility, sometimes make mistakes and misidentify hardware. And a lot of times the only way to fix that is either to have a very knowledgeable customer who can follow your directions. But if you're going to teach your customer your job, they might just realize they don't need you anymore. Or you have to get in the car and go undo what you just did. So tread lightly. If someone is using a VPN, will the software work? We answered that already, yes. Hello from Fresno. Great job on demos in real time. That's from Mark Gossman. Thank you, Mark. I do this on my channel to show real video. This is not in any way edited. What you see is live. Anybody that joined us yesterday knows that's true. And yeah, we can laugh now. Colin McGarry says hello from Ireland. Slancha, Colin, how often do I use remote software? That's like asking me how often customers call me for help. Some days it never ends, and some days is like apparently my weekend. This is the thing about being self-employed. I don't get to clock in and clock out. If the phone didn't ring from any customers today, apparently that was my Saturday, even if it was a Tuesday. Generally, I get most of my support calls on a Monday. That's because people have shut their computers off, as most people do, on a Friday after work, and they come back in on Monday, and that's when they realize there's a problem. That's another reason why I recommend leaving all computers on, desktop computers only, not tablets, not laptops, because they run into cooling problems. Just like external drives, they shouldn't be plugged in 24/7, they can overheat. So if it's a desktop computer, I recommend leaving it on 24/7 for the most reliability. You will have to restart from time to time, but Windows will take care of that for you with Windows updates at least once a month anyway, but you should, I recommend restart once a week just to clear out any memory leaks and bring the system performance back. Will I have more videos this week? Well, how many days are left this week? Just one.
Just one more day.
I think, I don't know. We'll see how the schedule is. Could someone who owns a computer repair shop who builds PCs use this to work on PCs? Anything that you do that doesn't involve turning a screwdriver, plugging things in, obviously, if it involves using a keyboard and a mouse, it doesn't matter if you're in front of the computer or if you're thousands of miles away. It's sort of cool when I realized for the first time, sitting in an office that had 15 computers, pretty big office, it was faster for me to log in remotely while I was in the office to connect to the other computers in the office than it was for me to get out of my chair and walk to the computer.
Right.
That's a weird state of world we're living in right now. The software looks incredible, very intuitive. This is from Craig at Nightingale. We'll certainly give us a go. Thanks for bringing the software to our attention, Carey. Don't think Carey, think Corey. I would think Wednesdays after the Windows updates would be bad times. I have not seen any bad Windows updates in a long time. Windows updates are some of the most thoroughly beta tested applications with larger beta test crowds than in the history of mankind with computers and beta testing. So it's pretty rare that a Windows update gets through beta testing with thousands, tens of thousands of beta testers. It's very rare. So no, it rarely ever happens. In cases of a machine not booting to Windows, do you have a live CD that I can download on another machine? Oh, that's an interesting question. Have you ever considered that?
I have actually, like a WinPE type of environment.
Yeah, where so you could say, go to another machine, download this, maybe USB stick or something, and plug it in, and then that'll give me remote access.
So I have thought about it, and I have not executed on it.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure my customers could follow that. Most of them only have, when I talk about residential, they only have the one computer. And then they sometimes have really slow download speeds. I had to download Microsoft Office 2016. It was 4.5 gigs on a business that has DSL. 4 hours. Yeah. Does Instant Housecall have redundant servers in case one is down?
Yes, it does.
That's from MK. Good question. Thank you for that, MK. Corey, for full disclosure, Corey is not paying me to be here. This is not a sponsored video. I like Corey. I like his product. And I asked Corey if he would come to the show, if he would be interested. In fact, I have been asking you this relentlessly since, when did we first meet? A long time. I tried nailing you down in Chicago. He is, believe it or not, he's not a natural on camera. He's very self-conscious of being on camera. And I applaud him, not only for finally, what's the word I want to look for? I finally wore him down, but but you can see he's natural. I don't know why. What's your problem? You're fine. Everybody loves you.
Cool.
You should do this more. Seriously, I'm not just giving you lip service.
Okay.
When, and I've told you this, when I make a video where I like a product, people are like, well, how much did they pay you to say that? I showed that NZXT case off, and someone's like, well, that's a nice commercial for NZXT. I just like it.
Right.
But if I say a product is terrible...
The internet's a very skeptical place.
Yeah, but if I say a product is horrible and you should avoid it, they go, you get them, Carey. Nobody says, well, you were paid by the competitor to do that. They never do that. Never. Trust me, I like this product. I am switching over to this. I've just been waiting. I'll be honest. And you guys know this if you've been watching my videos. I'm a creature of habit. I stick to what I know. And as a result of that, I end up doing things in a more difficult way. But for me, it takes time to learn something, and then then I've got to wean the other customers off, and I got to take one remote access off and put another one on. I've got it on who knows how many computers. It's not an easy changeover, so I want to be absolutely certain that I'm giving up what I know and accepting its flaws because it's easier than learning something new and having to install it in all my customers' computers. But at this point, and especially after this demo, this is the first time that you and I have sat down to really go through every bell, whistle, and feature, and it does far more than I ever considered.
And there's a lot that we actually didn't even cover.
Like what?
Like we didn't do the actual branding, terms and conditions, so you're able to set it up so that your customer has to agree to terms and conditions.
Nobody reads that.
Nobody reads it,
But
but
it
it's
is on the
good to have there on
Yes.
to cover your butt. The ability to ask your customer to type their contact information before a session. Scripted unattended installs, so that if you've got an RMM and you want to push out
RMM remote manage.
remote monitoring and management tool, and you want to push out Instant Housecall to your customers' endpoints, you can do it through a script. There is On-Site, which is a phone app that if your customer has a hardware problem, then they can use their phone and take a picture and it'll show up through your specialist console. All kinds of stuff.
I had a customer say to me, I said, I need you to reboot your computer. They said, which one's the computer? I said, it's the black box with like a light on it. Mm-hmm. And she goes, does it say Netgear on it? I go, no, that's your router. Does it say Surfboard on it? I go, no, that's your modem. Those are the only two black boxes I got. I go, is there another box regardless of the color with a light on it? Nope. Well, it turned out she had one of those all-in-one monitors. And so she was turning the monitor off. So she thought she was turning the computer off.
Of course.
Oh, it was so hard to figure out because I think I had been to her location like 6 months earlier. I don't remember what she had.
Right.
If she could have taken a picture of it, this would have happened a lot quicker. But even then, sometimes getting some of these digital immigrants, these older folks generally, who are not natural to the technology, even getting them to take a picture can be a challenge. I had a customer, I said, okay, I'm going to help you reset your password. They're going to send you a text, right? Well, the text comes through, it says, enter the code Google sent you for your Gmail password. Well, the customer enters the code, it's the wrong code. I'm like, how could you be entering the wrong, are you reading your phone? Yes, I'm reading, I see it right here on my phone. Well, that's who the message was from. The text message comes from 288671, and then the message says, your code is 4802. Right. And I'm like, oh my God, why did they do that? It's so confusing for these poor folks. He says, a learning curve for your customers as well. No, that's what I like about Instant Housecall. This is all on the text side. There's really nothing on the learning curve on the customer side. Not really. He says $75 a month for full spec. What does he mean?
He's referring to the professional edition.
What does that do differently?
It does everything the exact same, except it has more features.
Such as?
Such as the on-site remote hardware repair, the scripted unattended install, more unattended access endpoints.
More simultaneous connections.
More simultaneous connections.
So that'd be more like a repair center with multiple types.
A little secret just for your viewers, we don't actually throttle on the number of simultaneous connections right now. So whether you buy the Uno edition or the professional edition, you can actually have multiple unattended, even though it doesn't say that on the website.
You're too honest. Is the software HIPAA compliant?
It's not HIPAA audited, if that's what they're referring to. It depends on what exactly that means. So does it use SSL? Yes, it uses SSL.
So Corey's from Canada. So HIPAA doesn't apply in Canada.
HIPAA does not apply in Canada.
Is the connection between me and my customer encrypted?
Yes, SSL version 3.
See if I missed anything here, and then we'll wrap it up.
But the answer to something being HIPAA compliant is much longer than yes or no, because it requires a whole bunch of stuff on their side too.
Gotcha. I was wondering if he would show it using real people's computers in future videos. You know, there's a privacy issue there. Probably not. I don't think I would connect to a customer's computer, even with their permission. I don't want to show you their desktop icons and their who knows what potential information could pop up. So no, that's just too risky. Carey and Corey's Tech Show.
It's got a good ring to it.
Why not Corey and Carey's Tech Show? Is it always alphabetized, like Abbott and Costello?
Yes, yes.
Wait, Laurel and Hardy was backwards though. So much for that theory. He's pretty camera friendly and cute. Well, there you go. Or are they talking about me? They must be talking about me.
They're talking about you, of course.
I'm just looking through comments just to see if we missed anything. If you're just joining us, the DVR function is on YouTube. That means you can rewind this live video right this second if you want to, just as you would any other video that you watch on YouTube. Okay, and we're going to scroll down looking for any last minute questions. This is it, folks. Is it applicable in Australia? It doesn't matter where you are. Only when you flush it goes the other way. No, that's a rumor. That's not true. Can you get BIOS level support via vPro? That's an Intel thing. I think Intel has that locked down. And I've never really found that to be incredibly useful. I can't recall a time, honestly, as a technician with nearly 30 years of professional experience in the business, where I have needed to adjust something in the BIOS that was critical. Yes, there may be customers, not so much these days, but when we were switching over to AHCI and the BIOS defaults were IDE or SATA mode, it doesn't affect the reliability of the computer, and the performance difference isn't really that noticeable to the end user. At least in business and even residential, they just want the darn thing to work and as quickly as possible, as least expensive as possible. So while getting into the BIOS can optimize some settings, it is not something that I find to be critical to getting a computer to boot or function properly. Again, there were some old BIOSes that perhaps after an update, they say the BIOS was in AHCI mode and then a BIOS update happened and the system won't boot anymore because it defaulted back to SATA mode. I would have to get in the car and change that. Or I would have to instruct a customer how to press delete or F12 or F2, and it's different on different makes and models of motherboards. And since you can't see that at boot up, the good news is with UEFI BIOSes, some manufacturers offer a software control into the UEFI through Windows. I've never utilized it. Again, I stick to what I'm used to, and I've not found that to be something I need. So, and again, you screw it up and you lock yourself out. If you make the system unbootable, you start toying around with overclocking. That would be really foolish. Let me see how far I can overclock this remotely. Not a good idea. You shouldn't do your own dental work either. Just saying, not advisable. Does it have a phone app for the tech? I don't think so. Let's see, Corey wouldn't know about, she's probably talking about FINRA, that's the financial side, right? Probably the same thing applies to HIPAA as FINRA, HIPAA.
What's that?
You know FINRA, the financial institute?
I know of it.
Yeah.
Again, it's not something that I'm an expert in, and I would not want to claim expertise.
Whoa. Have you written any other software, or is this your first foray?
I've written lots of software in the past. It was typically used, so I used to work in telecom, and so all the software that I've written...
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now? Exactly.
So you worked in telecom, and so it was industry software?
It was industry software, stuff like the, porting your number between
Faking caller ID?
Faking caller ID.
I did that too. Are the D7 tools used, does it leave anything on the customer's computer, or does it remove any trace of what the tech used?
Remove
Giving away the secrets is not good. We don't show how we make the hot dogs.
Yeah, no, excellent question. That's part of the remoteness of the remoteness of the D7. So it automatically gets cleaned up and taken away, and you're good to go from there.
All right, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We're about an hour and 40 into this session. I think that's pretty thorough. I do believe the software, just D7 alone, we could talk about it for hours, all the bells, whistles, and features. I think there are already a number of videos there. Maybe I'll reach out to Nick Shaw and see if maybe we can get together and talk about D7 in depth. But to have that integrated into the remote software saves a step.
Yep.
It's already there. You click a button. It makes you more efficient. It makes you more money. It makes your customer spend less time with you, which generally makes them happier. That your time is money. Mm-hmm. Customers. That's why I don't like to bill customers by the hour, because they go, "Can you fix it in an hour?"
Right.
I'm like, "Well, I would like to fix it right, no matter how long it takes."
Right.
And they're like, "But will it take less than an hour?"
Right.
So at least anything that optimizes that is always good. back to the live CD, if I include installer on Windows 10 PE, will it work? What if he made his own live CD, like a pre-install CD of Windows 10, and put Instant Housecall on it and gave it to his customer?
I've never tested it, but I'm very much inclined to say yes, absolutely.
so.
It should work.
Yeah.
I see no reason why it wouldn't.
Superman G says, Carey, good job on the camera work. I'm glad you appreciate that. If you had any idea. Where did you partake in video install with Housecall 2 years ago? So Corey and I were in Chicago at the CompTIA conference.
Mm-hmm.
And then prior to that, we were here at the CompTIA conference in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
That was in Phoenix in August, which is the worst possible time you could ever be in Phoenix. And so luckily you're here on September 6th, where it's much cooler.
It's it's so cool here.
But it is better than it was last week, trust me.
Yeah.
It'll be better next week.
It's not that bad.
I'm glad you think so. Unfortunately, so Corey's a popular guy at the conventions. He's often got a booth displaying his product and doing quick demos of the product, and trying to pull him away from that when he's already uncomfortable as it is to be on camera has been a chore. We tried to do it here in August, back a couple years ago. We tried to do it in Chicago. We both get, it's not just on him. I got busy too, but I was screwing around. He was there for business. And I ended up being there for business too. It really interfered with my screwing around. Carey, I love your shirts. You have very good taste, Pat DeMarco, thank you. Stephen, very kind words. Stephen Kinman, thank you. Sounds like good software. Corey, can you make a computer OS that's better than Windows? Get right on that. Can you run the software on ports other than port 80?
It doesn't run on port 80.
And then you don't need to say anything else.
Yeah.
Hello from Norfolk, UK. Does the website convert to local currency? As with me, it would be dollars to pounds.
I'm assuming that's for the accept online payment, question, and the answer is yes. We can set the locale and the currency to whatever you want it to be.
Rich Robin says it's only 105 degrees today, which to Corey means nothing. It means nothing to him. But when you tell him it's, what is it, minus 32 and divide it in half, so minus, let's see, 105 minus 32. It's like 30 some odd degrees Celsius, I think.
Yeah, it's warm.
Now you understand.
Yeah, now I understand.
And when he tells me how many kilometers something is, my eyes just glaze over and I nod. This has been a constant issue with us. I don't realize I'm doing it. I'm like, yeah, that's just a few yards down. He's like, how
And
far?
him making fun of my accent.
I never would ever say anything about your accent. I would never, why, that would be so rude of me to have a guest here from out of town. Who would win in an arm wrestling match between you? Look at these guns. I'm not going up against that. And he's younger than me. What am I, stupid? Well, don't answer that. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you so much for all your participation. Thank you for your support, your kind words. We really appreciate it. My thanks to Corey for making a trip of Toronto to Phoenix specifically to make this video. It's been a joy and a pleasure to have you as my guest, and I hope that I haven't scared you away from ever doing it again.
Cool. Well, thank you very much
for having me. You were very good. Seriously, you were very good.
Thank you.
I've learned a lot. I'm glad that we didn't talk off camera about this in depth.
Yep.
Because my sincere my reactions were real to what I saw. If I acted surprised, it wasn't an act. I was surprised at some of the things I was not aware of. I had an idea. I wasn't completely blind. I had an idea, but some of the minutia, much of it, I haven't known until today as they've learned it.
Sorry, somebody just did the conversion for us. It's 40.5 degrees Celsius.
Whew.
That's ridiculous.
Sounds cold.
That's ridiculous.
Everybody, once again, thanks for joining. Thanks for all my moderators for keeping it civil in the chat. I really do appreciate the work that you guys do. Again, to everybody who supports both financially and just spiritually, thank you for your kind words and your support. And I do appreciate that you tune in, that you watch, and that you participate from all over the world. Thank you, guys. And I will see you all again very, very soon. Be sure one more time, the contest, 3 licenses to the 3 lucky winners, 6-month full use licenses. Corey will pick the winners in a few days. Leave a comment in the section below. Any comment will enter you into the contest. You know somebody's going to write any comment.
Of course.
Now that I've said that.
Of course.
Maybe just write instant house call. That would be good. Let's do that. And I was going to say something else. Contest. Oh, the website one last time.
instanthousecall.com.
All the notes are in the video, the links are in the video notes below this video. I will see you all again very, very soon. Until then, bye for now.